Today, we are putting 2,200 Marines on the way to the Middle East with no plan for them.
Should we just have let Iran build
This
a
is what you
nuclear
guys keep
weapon?
saying. What is the alternative? Should we just let them kill the whole world? It's like
that is because their capacity is already incredibly diminished.
What do you mean they haven't
we have the best military in the world. We've already seen 95% of their drones.
What do you mean that they haven't retaliated?
Where'd you get the 95% figure?
Iran back Hezbollah.
No, that is
Hamas,
not my answer. And yet again,
terror all over the. Okay, so someone has to take them. No, it's not a false choice.
We did not need to be in this war.
It is a real life
choice. We did not need to be in this war. We started the war for no reason. We are the bad guys here.
Iran started the war in 19.
The more you bomb people, the less they like you.
There's no excuse for extremism. Right? You become a radical Islamic extremist because you decided
and the Iranian government that they get. The Iranian people are innocent,
and
they're getting killed by the thousands. And the more we bomb them, the more they die.
Someone has to bomb them. They were getting killed by the thousands in January.
But what about
I had told you, Tom. Josh made the point that they could escalate.
No,
their capacity is already so diminished. They've been trying to retaliate, and the longer this goes on, the less capacity they have.
They have.
Well, I don't want to see Iran. Well, the regime is a different thing. But you spoke about Iran as a country. I don't want to kill the country of 90 million people.
All we've done is spend American blood and treasure to replace an 86-year-old terrorist dictator with a 56-year-old terrorist.
And his missile launchers.
Well done, everybody.
His missile launchers, his Air Force, his Navy.
Hello, everybody. Guys, we got a real beauty for you today. We got the rusted, corrosive, absolute piece of junk metal, the MAGA robot. Let's get into this segment, and we'll talk about it.
Tonight, a significant escalation in the war against Iran. The president announcing that the United States has bombed what he describes as Iran's crown jewel of oil infrastructure, the Karg Island. Donald Trump just released this video saying that the U.S. struck military targets on that island, but not the oil. He did, however, threaten to attack the oil infrastructure if Iran continues to block ships in the Strait of Hormuz. In fact, Trump says that the United States' ships will soon begin escorting tankers in the strait. Karg Island is critical for Iran. 90% of their crude oil exports are handled there. And just 24 hours ago, Iran warned that if they're attacked, Tehran will, quote, abandon all restraint. The warnings were pretty specific, Josh, not just that they won't be restrained, but specifically on Thursday, this is a statement from the IRG, from the Islamic Republic of Iran Broadcasting. We warn the aggressor governments and all its allies that the slightest attack on Iran's energy infrastructure and ports will be followed by our crushing and devastating response. In the event of such aggression, all the region's oil and gas infrastructure in which the United States and its Western allies have a vested interest will be set on fire and destroyed. So this is a really big deal because of what it could mean for escalation.
Yeah, it's the definition of an escalation ladder. It's the thing that everyone talks about when you plan a short war, a war that's going to be quick and easy. It's essentially, the enemy gets a vote, they escalate. Your instinct is to re-escalate, then they re-escalate, and before you know it, you're in a quagmire. And sure enough, that seems exactly what's happening. It was only yesterday, remember, Abby, where Trump said, we're done, we won, we're going to get out, it's over, it's going to be over very, very soon. That's what he said yesterday. And today, he deployed 2,500 Marines and sent them toward Karg Island. It's going to take him 2 weeks to get there, and he abandoned any timelines for the war. It says it's going to take as long as it takes. So it's clear that the president has made a decision that he's going to escalate against the Iranians. And they're announcing that they're going to escalate against us. If we do that, and that just takes the region and the world into further economic chaos, further disruption, higher prices, higher inflation, more instability, more shortages, more migration, more extremism, and a war that lasts for months and months. And someone's got to find an off-ramp where that's exactly what's going to happen, quite unfortunately.
What is the off-ramp, do you think, Brad?
Well, I would take issue with Josh about more extremism. Iran is the one that's been funding the extremism. You can go all the way back to 1979, then to the Beirut barracks and the U.S. Embassy in Lebanon, all the way back to the October 7th attacks, and people like Itay Hind and Omer Nutra, who were killed in captivity in Gaza, American citizens. The extremism and the carnage has been going on for far too long. 7 different presidents refused to stop it. And now we finally have a president who's decided we've had enough. Iran does not get to continue to export terror to the Western world and to the United States of America. And that is exactly the thing that's needed to happen for a long time.
Only if it works, though.
He has the balls to mention 2 Americans killed in Gaza, but nothing for the countless of little children and people we helped kill in Gaza, the Palestinian people. These people are disgusting. They think we're just completely innocent. We did nothing wrong, just taking a stroll down the park, and we're just getting terrorized. This is the party of no new wars, no new wars. No bueno? That's over with already? He said no one has done anything in 47 years, and we finally had a president in the past 7 presidents that just refused to do, that finally did something about Iran. Like, this is just so amazing. Why do you think 7 past presidents refused to do anything? Someone in the panel needs to stop and ask, why do you think that is? What do you think, Trump is the smartest of the 7 presidents previously? Is that really what you think? Or is it possible in your cultist brain that Trump is by far, I mean, light years dumber than the previous 7 presidents, than any president we've had, including George Bush? Yes, I said it. Is it possible at all that a president like Obama, who had the Iran nuclear agreement that allowed us to surveil them, along with a bunch of other countries, and they couldn't enrich uranium to a certain degree, do you think maybe that was the better deal for the world? Because that was the better deal? Pendejo? Is it at all possible in your bird brain that Trump was played by Israel and dragged into this war that doesn't do shit for us, but helps Israel in their goal of expansion?
And if it doesn't work, then all you've done is bomb a civilian population, which is what causes the extremism in the first place. The more you bomb people, the less they like you.
There's no excuse for extremism. Right? You become a radical Islamic extremist because you decided
to. And the Iranian government. The Iranian government is a terrorist regime that deserves what they get. The Iranian people are innocent, and they're getting killed by the thousands. And the more we bomb them, the more they die.
Someone has to bomb the regime. They were getting killed by the thousands in January.
But what about
the Ayatollah was murdering 30,000 plus people.
Right, and
that's when they were dying. 80+% of people are thrilled to have America come in.
80%?
And hopefully,
80%? Where do you get that number?
80% of what? We don't really have a window.
You know that
unfortunately.
85%
she's so stupid.
are made up?
We don't have a window, unfortunately, into what is going on the ground in Iran for a lot of different reasons.
We know the American diaspora of Iranians are
sure, of course, but what we're talking about tonight, everybody understands that the Iranian people would like to be free, right? But I think what we're talking about tonight is what this means for the United States and for the region. And I'm going to play, this is a clip from a podcast featuring David Sachs. He's actually a member of the Trump administration on the AI side of things. But he lays out his view of what's happening in the administration and what it could mean in the region. I thought it was interesting. Listen.
You are seeing, however, a faction of people, I'd say largely, but not exclusively in the Republican Party, who want to escalate the war. So if the Iranians get hit, if their oil and gas infrastructure gets hit, they've already said they're going to engage in tit-for-tat retaliation against the Gulf state. And if that happens, it won't really matter if the straits get reopened because you won't be able to restart oil and gas production in the Middle East. I think there was one desal plant in Iran that got hit, and then it caused Iran, again, tit-for-tat to hit a desal plant. I think it was in Kuwait. I could be off about that. But in any event, if you see that type of destruction continue, you could literally render the Gulf almost uninhabitable. I mean, you're just not going to have enough water for 100 million people.
What he's talking about there at the end are the desalination plants that are soft targets in this war. So look, realistically, there has to be some de-escalation at some point because Iran has nothing to lose. They could just send off a few missiles in some of these Gulf states and essentially create a catastrophe.
And that's the question. What is the off-ramp here? I don't think anyone has a clue in the Trump administration, and definitely not for the Arab states who are watching in the region. What do we do to get out of this predicament? I think the problem is that Donald Trump is making it up as he goes along. Every day there's a new answer for what he's going to do. One day we're going to escort ships. The next day we're not going to escort ships. One day it's over. It's already over. We've already won. The next day we're going to go on forever. One day we're there because we want regime change. The next day it's for a different reason because we want to get rid of the enriched uranium. But if you don't have a clear objective from the beginning, there's no clear objective to get out of it. And so how do you sell this to the American people, to the people in the region, to the people outside, to our allies? What this has done is it's strengthened Vladimir Putin, who is reputably our enemy. It's enriched him with oil revenues and helped him with the lifting of sanctions. And it's hurt our own allies. It's divided us. Italy, Germany, and Spain have all come out against this now. They're opposed to what we're doing. Donald Trump has single-handedly divided the alliance.
Lydia?
Our Middle East partners are actually more allied us.
Shut up, robot. Guys, she's so embarrassing. I think she beats by the brain that says the dumbest MAGA pundit I've seen. 80%. Like, Diablo. And this is the problem, is that you hear what the MAGA railroad tycoon was saying. You become an extremist terrorist because it was your choice. There is no, and he said, there's no excuse. It's your choice. And that's the mentality that gets us screwed. It's this view that we are, again, some angels saving the world. We're just doing good. We are the American angels. We're dropping bombs on all-girls school. Let me give you a thought, guys. What if my little sister was in that school? What do you think, if I was an Iranian in that area, that would do to me? And my feeling towards Americans if I were that little girl's brother? Is it possible at all that it would drive me into quote-unquote terrorism? In their view, it's just revenge. Avenging my little sister's death. Do these people not have a functioning brain? It's really disturbing to me how they can't see this or refuse to. Again, all Cabbage Patch Josh Rogan was saying is that this will create more animosity, more quote-unquote terrorism, extremism. There's a better, more strategic, tactical approach that we could have taken. And the Gulf allies, the MAGA robots about to say is on our side, they're pissed. We didn't warn them, and it was obvious that they were going to be the first targets. They're right there. They're smaller. Like, they hate us. They're pissed that we did this.
With us than ever. And I would just like to note, I mean, if you hear everyone talk at this table, you'd think this is literally World War III. It's not. I would like to tell everyone the U.S. is winning, and it's not even close. The reason that Iran hasn't retaliated yet is because their capacity is already incredibly diminished.
What do you mean they haven't retaliated?
We have the best military in the world. We've already seen 95% of their drone strikes.
What do you mean that they haven't retaliated?
Where'd you get the 95% figure? Is that another?
That's from CENTCOM. Josh made the point that they could escalate.
No, their capacity
is already so diminished.
I don't know.
They've been trying to retaliate, and the longer this goes on, the less
13 Americans are dead.
They have.
150 Americans.
They have. I mean, look, they have diminished capacity, but they have been retaliating. Israel is being struck on a daily basis in residential areas with cluster munitions. Neighboring Gulf states are being attacked. The big picture is, how does it end? How does it end? And is there a plan
I think even
escalation?
If we were to stop tomorrow, we've already seen this regime completely crippled. The military has been clear about the objectives. We don't want them to get a nuclear weapon. We want to decrease their missile supply. So we're already accomplishing those goals. We're seeing global terror is going to be decapacitated forever. Hezbollah is getting kicked out of Lebanon. We are already seeing some incredible results. And of course, we want to see this war end tomorrow. But I haven't heard anybody at this table recognize the fact that our military is incredible and has already achieved so much.
See, I think that's what happens when we have these kind of conversations. The implication is, if we don't say, woohoo, we're winning, go military, we're not pro-military. I am absolutely pro-military, which is why I'm against this war. Because if you take our soldiers into war, you not only have to have a plan and a reason, you have to have an exit strategy. You have to know why you're there, what you're doing, what your goal is. We do not have that. And today, we are putting 2,200 Marines on the way to the Middle East with no plan for them.
Should we just let Iran build
This is what you guys keep saying. What is the alternative? Should we just let them kill the whole world? It's like they weren't going to. There was no intelligence that said they had nuclear weapons. They were not ahead of nuclear weapons. We were in the middle of talks with them about nuclear weapons, which, according to Omar,
they've had 47
we were doing it. They were getting everything we wanted. America was getting everything we wanted. And we have to say,
according to who? Not Steve Witkoff.
Yeah, no, not Steve Witkoff.
Steve
Witkoff is the most honest man in the entire world who actually literally feels like he works for Russia now, and Russians are benefiting from this. So no, I'm not going to take Steve Witkoff's.
Well, he's negotiating on our behalf.
But I think that, unfortunately, and I think that Jared Kushner was the one who finally made the decision, and he told his father-in-law to do it. And I think we'll get out of this war when Jared Kushner tells his father-in-law they're no longer benefiting from it.
So your answer is to continue.
These people, they don't have original thoughts. Do you see the MAGA robot? She's an idiot. Everything that they tell her, she just believes. We removed their, and I hate when people speak in these such absolutes. We have decimated, decapitated, obliterated, ended their ability now to cause terrorism around the world forever. That's what she said. Forever? Forever, ever? Forever, ever, ever? Outcast reference? I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh. Never mind. She said we have ended their ability to cause terrorism around the world forever. Like, what in the F are you talking about? That has to be some type of Fox News talking point, or something that some host on Fox News said. This is what it sounds like to me. How did we stop that? You are insane if you think terrorism globally is now over because of this. Are you really this dense? Like, these people's heads are so far up Trump's ass, they cannot or refuse to ever say he has messed up in any way. Trump could come out tomorrow and say the war's over, I'm backing off. They will say, great, you see, accomplished. If Trump never entered the war, they would say, great, you see, no new wars. Kamala would have gotten to that war. Their head is too far up their ass. They just knob slob until their lips deteriorate. Not caring who dies in the process, as long as they stay faithful to their dear leader in the Republican Party. That's all that matters. These people are spineless, weak-ass people. And the truth is that they know that Trump is so vindictive and could ruin their careers just for speaking out, like he did to little Michael Singleton when he fired his little ass from HUD in his first term. Like, guys, you know, if we really wanted to, we can kill Putin. We can kill Kim Jong-un. I mean, we could if we really wanted to. Why do you think we don't? This isn't how you go about doing this. Don't you think all our presidents known we could kill the Ayatollah, the supreme leader of Iran? It's a reason why we haven't done this previously. This has a way of backfiring, you dumbass. You don't create chaos in expectation that it will lead to less chaos. You have to be much more tactical, strategic in your approach. It's a long game you have to be willing to play. And Trump went in there thinking it would be just like Venezuela. And these people are just such effing idiots, believe everything that they are told.
We need to let Iran back Hezbollah.
No,
back
that is
Hamas,
not my answer. And
export
yet again,
terror all over the. Okay, so someone has to take them. No, it's not a false choice.
We
It's
did
a
not
real,
need to be in this war.
It is a real life
We did not
choice
need to
in
be
the
in this
United
war.
States
We started
of
the war
America
for no
and in the
reason.
Middle East.
We are the bad guys here.
Iran started the war in 1979.
Yeah, we can't go back to 1979.
Yes, but we can take away the fact that they
Iran
are exporting terror and death to all of their neighbors. They're a menace to their neighbors. Every Middle Eastern country is with us on this. Everyone wants Iran taken out of the game.
Yes, and they had America do it with our soldiers and our money.
Let me just show you guys. This is the streets of Tehran earlier today, where a bunch of Iranian officials made a whole show of showing up in the streets at the Al-Quds parade in Tehran, literally even as there were explosions happening behind them. And you just mentioned sort of taking Iran out of the game. That remains an open question. Right. Are they being taken out of the game?
No, of course not. There's no sign that the regime has lost any measure of control at all. In fact, what's more likely to happen...
They've lost munitions.
Yes, but they still are able to repress their people and control their country in perpetuity, which means all we've done is spend American blood and treasure to replace an 86-year-old terrorist dictator with a 56-year-old terrorist
and his missile launchers.
Well done, everybody.
His
Good
missile
job.
launchers, his Air Force, his Navy,
but
his
they
ability
can rebuild
to project
all that
power
stuff.
abroad.
And the thing is, they have the ability to rebuild all that stuff. And for Iran, the only thing they have to do to win is survive. And if this regime survives, they've won. That means the only way that we have to win is to do regime change, which Trump doesn't really have the stomach for anyway. So we've got ourselves into this situation where Iran is going to be able to say, we resisted the great power in the United States of America and Israel. We tried to take down the regime. And unless Trump actually does that, which would take years and trillions of dollars and thousands of American lives, which I hope you're not suggesting.
Your answer,
that doesn't seem like a good idea.
Your answer is to continue to let Iran menace its neighbors in the rest of the world.
That's not really what he said.
Those were the choices. That's what
Asshole.
7 presidents
That's
have
your
decided,
choice. That's the
including
false
Donald
choice you
Trump
keep
in the first
giving
term.
us.
7 presidents
Please
decided to leave Iran
understand nuance. And what I hate about these conversations, we always get caught up in, I say something and whoever is sitting next to me says something which is completely opposite of what I was ever talking about, what Josh was talking about. And what we're talking about is there are other ways to achieve the objective. Let's all assume at this table, let's assume for the purpose of argument that we all agree that we don't want to have Iran strengthened. The question is, how do you achieve that goal? And
we want to see Iran ended.
Well, I don't want to see Iran ended. The regime is a whole different thing. But you spoke about Iran as a country. I don't want to kill the country of 90 million people.
Sure, no one does. Don't put words in my mouth.
Right, I'm not trying to say that, but my point is, let's figure out nuanced ways to come up with solutions instead of assuming that because I don't agree with your approach, that means I want to go back and allow Iran to do whatever they want to do.
You just gave them billions of dollars and they funded terror.
Let's go ahead and hit pause here because we'll have more on the other.
The robot is so stupid. And this is the thing. The Nazis used to do this too. When they would get into war and people would say it wasn't a good idea. You're defeatist. You're anti-German. All this stupid. This is the same playbook. This is propaganda. You're anti-American. You're the U.S. military. Like, these people must only watch Fox News and other right-wing garbage that just lies and lies to them. And they're not able to tell what's real and what's not anymore. It's all going through a filter of Fox News. I think this is important because I can't always tell if people like the MAGA robot are purposefully lying or are they getting tricked. Remember, these are Republicans, guys. They believe in, you can get conservatives to believe literally anything. They're conservatives. Conspiracy theorists, bird brains, right? Very easily fooled group of people, right? Remember Trump saying he loves the poorly educated? He was talking about his own followers. And there's a reason he likes them dumb. All right, let me spell it out for you because it's possible Republicans are watching my video that are not able to critically think. He likes that you're dumb. The Republican Party likes that you're dumb because they can manipulate you easier. You dumbass. And they're right. You're dumb. I've met plenty of you. You're all effing dumb. They get you to agree to some of the dumbest things like tax cuts for the rich. How they got you to think that makes sense, that's a good idea, is one of the best, really one of the best tricks I've seen yet. Like getting you dumbasses to agree with this war is a great idea. Just perfect timing, right? Just right when people can't even afford groceries, when they don't even have health care. Really smart time to do this. Effing dumbasses. But I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Please leave a like, subscribe. Really helps the channel. Really helps push the message out there. And I'll catch you in the next one.